So this is Act 5, Chapter 10. Where we were last at, Cadia was still standing, they've just left the warp, but in the present time, they've just taken Dantine's heart, and they're just walking around being little guys. Nice. Good job, team. Chapter 10. Oh, I need to turn off notifications. Also, nobody make me goddamn blue. Okay. Dantine is on Najan. If you have not noticed, we are back in the place that is called Najan, and Dantine looks a bit shit, to be honest with you, Diane. Look at him. He's all like, his skin has gone really pale. You can tell because his leg is not yet pale. Definitely on purpose, not because I just realized that I missed filler tooling it. And he looks really tired, and he's got a big gash in his belly, and it's all pussy and horrible, and he's a bit stinky, and his hair's grown long, and his nails have grown long. But he doesn't see the point in washing. Ugh. He used to be super anal about it on his ship and on the Imperial ships, because disease is like a big killer in the military, like it is now. But now he just doesn't care. And it's fine, because there aren't any showers on the ship anyway. So he's on Najan, if you will. And there's lots of population, just sort of mulling around. Just kind of doing little population things. And the planet has begun to also be a bit stinky.
Why, God, why?
So Dantine makes his way to the garrison. And he's not like a big player, he's not a battle bro. So he just goes and stands at the side with the rest of the little guys. And he gives us our first like proper little introduction to all the characters. So we're just gonna go through them all, and I'm just gonna he says a sentence for all of them. It's not really an intro for the characters, but it's better than nothing. So Slurt is the one with eyes under his skin. He's also a bit spooky, but that's me saying that, not Dantine. Cledo is the one whose soul has withered. Sounds a bit sad, that, doesn't it? He's over there. He is the Slayer. He's just a big boy with a big sword and a big gun. I think he's one of the ones in Terminator armor. Pretty sure. And then we have Philemon, the corpse counter, because he writes notes of everyone who has died and everything like that. And then we have Dragon, the warrior. He is the most dangerous of all of them. He's the youngest of these 5. He's not from Barbarous, and he doesn't have Terminator armor. We'll talk about that later. And then obviously, the big boy himself, Vorks, is there. He's a big boy. He's a Terminator armored boy. I don't really know what that means apart from the helmet looking like a beak, but I don't think all of them look like that. So I don't know. I've just been told that they're big boys because they're Terminators. And they're talking about whether they want to stay on this world, and that they don't really know where they are. They kind of know where they are, but their maps are outdated. And they're basically given 3 choices. They can bring gifts to Najan and claim it for themselves. Make it a plague world, that kind of thing. Get some supplies going. Or they can leave and go and try and get to Ultramar, which is where they were supposed to be going before they all got split up. Or they could just do something else. They could just go off by themselves doing some little pillaging, which they've never done before. They've never had that choice to just go and do whatever they want. Because they don't really want anything, because they just do as they're told. Terminator armor, bigger, chunkier type, quite naked like a real man. Every suit bears the Crux Terminatus, a small fragment of Big E's armor. Oh, okay. So that's even funnier that they're Chaos corrupted now, because it's like actual Emperor stuff. And then there's a little Lord, and he just climbs up, and Slurt just holds him like a little baby. And Vork starts talking about staying equals boring. Garstag is the one who wants to stay. He's the one who watched the sun come up in chapter 9. He's very happy just being on a planet with ground beneath his feet, doing his little farming RP life stuff. But Vaux is like, you're gonna get bored, mate. It's not the best, and we've got months of supplies on the ship already, and maybe there's still fighting in Cadia. Maybe not. But Sabatine is the target, and Duntine lets that sink in. He knows that Sabatine is a fortress monastery, and it's close by. It's where the white consuls, the space marines that are supposed to be on watch for Najan, come from. It's very well fortified. And he's kind of thinking like, maybe I can send a word out to them to warn them. And Vaux is talking, he carries on. We are now the hunters, not the hunted. We can end a chapter and talk about a lot of the chapters on Cadia being potentially destroyed, and that Sabatine is a worthy target of the warband because it's so well fortified, and space marines. And then they all look at Dantine. They all turn and stare at Dantine. And Vaux says, "You'll take us to your old homeworld, won't you, Captain Dantine?" And Dantine bows and says, "Yes, Lord." He doesn't want to do that, but it feels like he has to do that. They all fly back to the ship, sorry. They all fly back to the ship. And the only thing they leave, they don't leave gifts, but the only thing they leave is Vaux leaves a wooden plaque on a wooden pole. It's called a signpost. And it just says "Careless" in Imperium Gothic, because that's what they think of the Imperium, for losing that planet. And then we're back on the ship. And Philemon wants to return to his little lair. And he comes down the stairs, and then Slurt's just there, being a creepy little guy. He's just creeping in the shadows. And he's just like, "You working hard, Philly?" And Philemon's like, "You're creepy, dude. What are you doing?" And then he goes into his little lab. And then we look at the bridge. Bridge time, best time. Guess who's on the bridge? It's Vaux. And also Kodad, and Hovik, and Drazul. And Dragon. Vaux is kind of talking to himself. I don't know if this is like an inner thoughts voice, or he's saying this out loud. But he says, "The galaxy is cracked. Abaddon has destroyed it. Now we reave its bleeding corpse. Now we are the bloatflies on its wounds. We will conquer nothing. Only watch our quarry expire as we reach out to grasp it." Beep, 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 beep. The sensors start beeping. Vaux, weapons. Kodad replies, "Howitzers." And Vaux says, "All power to the ranged guns." There's a ship on the sensors. It is not an empty hull like many others they have passed, but it is red and black, and spiked like an urchin, and crowned in towers. The Iamander, our cousins, the word bears, says Vaux. The battle boys crowd into the bridge, and the ship's phone starts ringing. "What ship is this? What banner? What purpose?" "Solace, of the 14th Legion, the Death Guard. No manner but our own, no cause but that of faith. Come now, we should talk." "On this ship." "Okay." That's what the word bears sound like. You're welcome. That was a little conversation, that was the phone call. And that's the end of chapter 10. By the way, I also stream painting Warhammer on Twitch and have a Discord. Thank you! Like and subscribe!